Social Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu is proposing amendments that would see the threshold for receiving the social relief of distress grant change from 350 Rand to 624 Rand. That's in line with the national poverty line. The proposals were gazetted last week for public comment until later this month. But are these measures enough, though? Let's discuss this further, joined by Francina Nkosi. She's from the #PayTheGrants movement. Francina, good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time. Just an overriding question first. 624 Rand is the new threshold in line with the national poverty line as proposed in the gazetted recommendations by the Minister Lindiwe Zulu. Is that enough?
Thank you for having me, and greetings to everyone. It's not enough. It's not enough based on how food prices are now. We wish if it was 1.5, then we would say it's better than the 650, but it's much better. We accommodated.
You are one of the organizations, and among several others, civil society organizations, who put a lot of pressure on the government, the likes of Black Sash Trust, arguing that what had happened earlier was not right. If this is not enough, and the gazetted recommendations are still up for comment, how are you going to be contributing besides that 1,500 that you think could be more sufficient? What else are you going to want to see to change?
Okay, we are still busy. We have put it our case, and we're waiting for the court. And then they said it's not emergency. It will be looked at maybe around in 3 months. But we won't stop. And as communities on the ground, we're still going to push that the government should care the communities on the ground, because we still have people who didn't receive their 350, and they budgeted over 10 million, but less than 4 million have received their 350. Then the question is, where is the money for others? Why didn't they approve so that it could be equal to the money that they have?
So there's still many millions of South Africans who are still waiting for the payments, despite the change and the extension to March 2023. But you also say you've not really been consulted. From what you are saying now, on the ground, you want to be listened to. Then it's seemingly government, the Social Development Department, is not doing a good enough job in consulting.
No, especially our government, they don't consult communities. They just impose whatever they think is best for communities. And that is a serious challenge. I wish our government could consult communities and see how communities are using their money. If you use 100 Rand for transport and 250, it's merely for food. It's not enough. And those who are being declined, they are still waiting. Some, they say you have income while you don't. Those are things that makes more pressure to the communities, because how will you survive? I think if they can give that time and come to communities and see how communities survive with that 350, and how communities have the burden of not getting their money declined. Some, they say pending, and you don't know what's happening. Some receive their money for more than 6 months, but now they are not receiving anything, declined, depending, and that is a serious challenge. Some, they have other siblings that they need to support who doesn't qualify for the 350. that is a serious burden to the communities.
Okay, the changes proposed by Minister Zulu are now in the Government Gazette, as I've said earlier, and public comments are open until the 29th, I think, of this month of July. You said you're going to continue. What will be the next steps you're going to undertake between now and the 29th of July? Of course, the court case is still pending, as you've said, but in terms of these new proposed changes in the Gazette, what are you, as #PayTheGrants, going to be doing?
We'll continue to write emails to the government to request an amendment to their way of payment. And if that is not yet, we're going to put pressure. We're going to picket, we're going to do signature campaign so that the government can listen to communities and pay the grants, not to pay 4 million, but pay for over 10 million so that people can receive their 350 as promised.
Thank you very much, Francina Nkosi. She's from the #PayTheGrants movement.